Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and today we're going to be looking at something for the PlayStation 4 and also the PlayStation 4 controller, and it's going to be coming to us from Slick Wraps. Now what this is going to be is a white carbon fiber skin for your PlayStation 4 and also the controller, so we're going to be having a look at the installation and just in general how it looks, starting off with the controller. So let's take a look. What I'm going to do first, guys, is give you a quick overview of what you get inside of the packaging. Now just to let you know that you can select these from slickwraps.com. They come in loads of different colours, loads of different materials. The one that I have here is the white carbon fibre. So straight away you are going to get a application squeegee to squeeze out any bubbles, but you're not necessarily going to need them because of the material that it's made of. It's very easy to apply. You are also going to get a microfiber cloth, so that obviously if you do need to wipe down anything, for instance like the PlayStation, because it does have some glossy sections, then you are going to be able to do so. Now the wrap itself will come in loads of different sections. So you can have here the controller portion, which is going to have things for the D-pad, the actual touchpad as well, and also the analog sticks. And then you're also going to get the top, sides, and also the front for the PlayStation 4 itself, with all the cutouts for the PlayStation logo and where it says PS4 on the front. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm going to be starting off with the controller, just kind of get a feel for the actual wraps themselves. Now this is probably the hardest part of the actual wrap, just because of the fact that you have things like the analog, what I'm going to call handles, where it actually goes around, and you are going to need something like a hairdryer or something to heat up the wrap so that it can actually kind of mold to the shape of the controller itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fast forward and just kind of give my thoughts and opinions as I'm installing the wrap as to kind of what I found easy and what was maybe a little bit more difficult. The first thing that I went for was the D-pad and also the left and the right. And now this was kind of easy because you've got all the different circles and the directional pad on the other side to help you line it up. One thing I would say is the 3M material that the stickers are made of is quite stretchy, in the sense that if you do kind of pull it, it will stretch a bit out of shape, but it will go back to shape in no time at all, so do not worry about that. And in some instances it did actually come in quite handy for me to actually stretch it and to manipulate it as I need to, so that it's stuck down really nicely. The first issue, if you could call it that, is the kind of bit in between the two analog sticks. Now the reason why I found that a bit hard, I mean I've got quite big hands, and also you've got the analog sticks on either side, so it was a bit hard to line it up. But as long as you use the PlayStation burner as kind of a starting point, or even the bottom where it's got the jack for the input for the headphones and things, then again it's really easy to get through. And as I mentioned before, the fact that it's stretching things gives you a bit of room for error if it does occur. The touchpad in the middle of the PlayStation controller was probably the easiest bit, and that's basically just because it's a giant rectangle. Again, because there is a curve, you may want to use a hairdryer to kind of help it adhere a little bit better so it doesn't kind of pop up, but this was pretty much the easiest part of the installation, especially in the controller side of things. The next part was pretty much the hardest part, and this is the handles for the controller, where you have to kind of put the slick wrap around all these different contours and things. And you can see here that it did bubble up quite a lot and kind of give some jagged edges. So what you're going to have to do with this section here is you're going to have to get some sort of hairdryer or heat on it so that it kind of loosens up the material a bit, and it kind of makes it a bit more like cling film, for instance, and it's very easy to apply and it sticks really nicely. You're not going to have any issues with any bubbles once you've kind of heated up the actual controller itself. Now obviously don't do it too much, you don't want to damage the controller, but just a little bit of heat will definitely help with this part of the installation. Now you can see here that unfortunately I didn't get it perfect. There is a small bubble, but you can use a pin to kind of get the air out and push it down, so again it's not really too much of an issue. And to complete the look, Slick Wraps give you these two circles to put on the analog sticks as well, so that it looks really nice, and it kind of reminds me a bit like the Nexus 5 with that Stormtrooper white and black look. And that is it for the controller side of things. Like I say, guys, it's very easy to put on. One thing that I would say is you will need to use a little bit of heat for the bits that kind of curve and contour around the controller itself, but overall a very easy installation. What we're going on to now is the main part of the slick wrap, and that is for the actual console itself. And to be honest, guys, the console section is actually really easy to do. It took me less time to skin the whole console than it did the actual controller itself, and that's mainly because it's just triangles and rectangles, and it's just very easy to do. There are some fiddly bits like the middle of the 4 here on the PlayStation 4 logo, but apart from that it was very easy. The front sections are very easy to do, also on the sides they're very easy to apply. One thing that I would say is you may need the squeegee to get out some of those bubbles, because you are working with a larger surface area. It can maybe sometimes cause a bit of issue with having bubbles and things that get in the way. And guys, as I've mentioned before, because of the material that this is made of, this really nice 3M material, you can take off and reapply them. Now, you're not going to be able to do it infinite number of times, but if you do make mistakes, then it is quite forgiving in the sense that you can take it off and put it back on with no problem at all. Having a look around the actual device itself, you can see here that the cutouts are very precise indeed, and I had no issue at all with applying the wrap. Now that's one thing that I have to kind of put forward to you guys, is that Slick Wraps is very easy to apply, very cheap, very good for value for money. And like I say, if you're not that great at putting on skins, this is definitely the product for you, because like I mentioned before, you can take the skin on and off as you need to. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Like I say, head over to slickwraps.com to pick up this wrap plus many other colours and designs, plus for other devices like iPhones, Galaxy phones, Nexus, everything you can think of at slickwraps.com. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you do want some more information about Slick Wraps and just in general how easy it was to apply this skin, then do leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer as quick as I can. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass, and this has been your quick look at the white carbon fibre skin for the PlayStation 4 from Slick Wraps, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.